James Mathers for the Digital Cinema Society and Studio Daily at NAB 2014. I'm here at the AJA booth, and it's probably going to be the talk of NAB this year, but AJA is now in the camera business. Tony Cacciarelli, can you tell us about the new camera?
Sure thing. So partly what we set out to do with this camera was really take the evolution of cameras from 100 years ago and bring it, along with all the knowledge that we've accumulated over the past 20 years as a company, merge them all together into something we think is a really ergonomic, really well thought out piece of equipment for doing digital cinema, documentaries, all kinds of different workflows. It's a really handy camera that has a lot of connectivity, and it's just really easy to use, and everything's right where you need it, and that's really kind of what we were focused on.
So it's a large sensor camera, and what are the recording formats?
It'll record everything from HD 1080 all the way up through UHD into full 4K at 30 frames per second.
Is that all on the camera, or do you go to an outboard recorder?
We can do onboard recording as ProRes files, and we do all the flavors of ProRes from 4444 all the way down to proxy. And then we can also do outboard recording. We've got 4 SDI outputs to be able to do 4K outputs to another device. We can also do raw outputs up to 120 frames per second to other devices like our Corvid Ultra, which allows us to then decode that, record it, and use it for various things like sports playback, which is a huge area.
So you could do those simultaneously. You could do a proxy and you could do a raw format at the same time. A lot of versatility there. Anything else you can tell us about it?
Really just, again, about the ergonomics. I think, we've really carefully thought out where each connector is placed. This camera has probably more connectivity than a lot of cameras out on the market, maybe all, I can't say for sure, but it has a ton of connectivity on it, and everything from where the XLRs are positioned to where the SDI down converts are positioned for easy monitoring, connections, and accessibility while you're using the camera. It's just a really well thought out camera, and we put a lot of energy into that.
And nobody knows I/O better than AJA. And it looks pretty rugged too. It looks like it's substantial.
It is, actually. It has a magnesium frame, so it's really solid, really rugged. It'll stand up to a lot of onset abuse. And even, again, where the connections are placed, we made sure that things wouldn't get sheared off, wouldn't be interfering with the actual normal operation of the camera.
And how much does it weigh? Do you know that?
The weight is about 6.5 pounds.
Oh, that's light.
Very light camera, yeah.
You probably have to put a heavy battery on the back end just to get some balance.
We do, yeah, and that's actually part of it, is actually being able to counterbalance that. And the over-the-shoulder design leads right into that. We see so many times where people have a form factor, and the first thing they do is get all of that gear to get it up on their shoulder, and this is just ready to go right out of the box.
Now, I know there's probably other new things from AJA, but we wanted to start with this. Can you tell us about some of the other products at the show?
Yeah, actually, one of the things I think would be really interesting for folks is something called the LUT-BOX. It's something that we've been working on for a little while, and people have been requesting. It's an inline color transform box, so it takes an SDI input, dual link up to 3G, and then we can apply 3D LUTs to it, 17 by 17 cube, and then output that as simultaneous SDI and HDMI. So you can drive HDMI monitors, SDI monitors, supports a wide variety of LUT formats from .LUT to 3DL, cube, and .txt.
So the DP can have his creative intent and all the monitors on set, send that through to post-production, that's the idea?
Absolutely. It's the worst thing is to put an image up on screen that doesn't have the right look on it, and people start to get a little nervous about the look of the image, and this just allows them to have an image on screen that everybody's going to be comfortable with.
And yet it's not baked in, it's just metadata.
Correct. You're just doing it for the monitoring. You're still able to have the full range for all of your recording capabilities.
That's great. And then you have all the other products that we've all known and loved.
Everything else that we've been doing for years. We've got a few other new things as well for the broadcast area, but yeah, it's another NAB with a lot of new stuff from us, but one really big one this year.
It's exciting. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.